Yes, once again, we are in Milwaukee and have come to our championship match. And for the introductions, let's go down courtside to Sam Lagana for our Coppertone Sports player introduction. Sam?
Live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Miller Lite Open Final. He's ready to roll. Now up on center court from Carolina, Brazil, the reigning king of the beach, Jose Loiola. His teammate comes to us out of Pacific Palisades, California, via Stanford and UCLA, the #1 ranked player in the world, Kid Steffes. The opposition coming out of the winner's bracket, out of Hacienda Heights, California, now living in Provo, Utah, out of Pepperdine University, Malibu, Troy Tanner. His teammate out of Hermosa Beach, California, via San Diego State University, Big B, Bill Boulliane. This is the AVP on Fox TV.
All right, Sam, thank you very much. The crowd is certainly ready to go. Our finalists are, and Craig Hummer is with a finalist who's on a little bit of a run this season, Troy Tanner. Craig?
Thanks a lot, Paul. Troy, this is the first time you've come through the winner's bracket. You've had that extra rest. How are you feeling?
Well, obviously, I'm feeling good going into this match. Best I've felt ever going into a final. And those guys have been through it today, so it's kind of reversed today.
All right, good luck. Get after it.
All right.
That could indeed be a key. Our final matchup, the #1 seeded team of Kent Steffes and Jose Loiola. They've won 10 out of 13 tournaments this season. No doubt they have been a dominant force, taking on the #5 seeds, Troy Tanner and Bill Boulliane, who've had a marvelous tournament and beat Jose Loiola and Kent Steffes in the semifinals earlier today, 15-13. You heard Craig Hummer and Troy Tanner. Is that the key to this championship, the extra rest?
No, a little bit, yes. You got to come in here with the confidence. Troy, I talked to him earlier. He says it could be today, Hob. I feel good about it. If he can convince himself he can win the tournament, he can win the tournament.
Double figures in finals, his 6th this season with Troy Tanner. For Troy Tanner, I should say. You can see certainly a veteran, been on tour a long, long time, had a marvelous indoor career, a gold medal winning indoor career with the U.S. team in Seoul, South Korea. Steffes to start, and of course the patented line shot.
A lot of line, Steffes, 80% of the time will hit that.
There is Kent Steffes. What a season he has had. I said that Steffes and Loiola have won 3 in a row. There have been 4 tournaments. They decided not to travel to Cape Cod and compete there. They did not play as that serve hits the top of the tape. But they have won 3 in a row. But this is the farthest they will have to come through the elimination bracket as we get a look at Bill Boulliane, now 31 years of age. A father not too long ago, daughter Summer, originally from Palos Verdes.
Son Bowen.
There's Bill Boulliane getting things off to a very, very good start.
Billy the Kid hammers it down the line, can't control it. Jose Loiola off to a 1-0 start.
And that is missed.
Jose Loiola back to serve.
We said it's going to be decided in the first 5 points, starting off with a 1-0 lead.
Well, the semifinal certainly was when Kent Steffes and Jose Loiola came out against the #14 seeded team of Anginio and Brian Gatsky, and immediately went out 4-0. There is the kill by Bill Boulliane, and kind of an up and down year for Beef as Troy Tanner goes back to serve. Bill got off to a pretty good start, played with Eric Fenoy Moana, a couple of 5ths and a 3rd, and then played with Brian Lewis, and up and down, and a 13th with Andrew Smith. And when he and Rob Hyder split up, and then Brian Lewis and he split up, Bill Boulliane just has been unable to solidify a partnership, and maybe this is it for the rest of the season.
Let's hope so for Beef. They're playing real well together. Troy's got great hands. Beef he got a good jump serve. They complement each other. They can both hit the ball, both jump serve, play a little bit of defense.
Come on, Tanner, drill it.
Big hit. TNT. showing no fear of that block. Superwash car wash. There is his patented trademark.
Troy Tanner hammering that ball cross court. As we found out between matches, Jose Loiola playing more than for just his team today. A very special effort raising money for children who are suffering from very serious illnesses and are sent down to Disney World and for vacation trips to Central Florida. He's contributing $100 for every stuff block throughout the weekend. He has 6, so that's $600 to the charity. And if you want to participate, give Kids of the World and area code 407, and we'll get back to that number because I couldn't say it that fast. So get your pencil and paper ready and jot it down as Bill Boulliane jots down another side out. 407, you got that part. 396-1114 if you too would like to join Jose Loiola in contributing money to a very, very worthy cause.
Great stab right there by Bill Boulliane, saving an ace and a nice side out.
Oh, nice serve down the line, but just out of bounds. But as we have seen all season long, serving hard is not enough. Serving tough is not enough. You have to serve lines. You have got to make Kent Steffes and Jose Loiola move their feet to receive serve, or else they make it look easy.
Key to success, have them move their feet, maybe make a bad pass, get them off the net, and drop.
Looking strong down the sideline. We mentioned that Bill Boulliane not had the kind of summer that he certainly would have liked to. A couple of thirds this year. He has 1 win at Belmar back in 1995 with Brian Lewis, but that's it.
The big beef on his back, known as Beef Boulliane. You saw him surf earlier on the Down and Dirty. He can get it done.
Cut!
Picture of Bill Boulliane in one of the magazines, I think it was Volleyball magazine, surfing about a 20-footer at Tavarua. I went over to him in an airplane and I found the picture and I said, is this really you? And he said, yeah, waves were like that all day long. And no 20-footers for you and the guys the other day on that Down and Dirty.
No, we're down in Manhattan. He was in Tavarua. He can surf.
No.
And he can side out just like that. Nice cross-court rip.
Bill Boulliane's background went to San Diego State University, played collegiately there, and has been out on tour for quite some time. Now his 7th season, and has had an impact. He was voted the most improved player on the Miller Lite AVP back in 1994. Troy Tanner, his 10th final.
Magic one, possibly.
We shall wait and see. If you're going to win one, you might as well beat the best team in the world.
No doubt.
We're thinking right now that the modern record for most finals without a victory is probably held currently by Troy Tanner at 9.
And ongoing, yes.
He doesn't want to get that to double digits.
You don't want that title.
5 finals so far this year. I'll run them down for you in just a moment with Randy Stoklos. Nice dig by Steffes. Chance for the tie.
Nice play.
Some fresh legs by Troy Tanner and Bill Boulliane that he talked about with R. Craig Hummer lead to the first very long rally of this championship match.
Great hand-eye coordination by Steffes. Here's the last play right here. Steffes sees it, wants to hit it, goes to the Chiefs with seats with it. Goodbye. Side out, Beef and Troy.
Some athletic plays. I mean,
oh, yeah.
You look out here on the court, there are 4 very athletic competitors, and I think that Kent and Jose are in better shape. Troy, yeah, I think it really helps him to have won the winner's bracket. He tends to wilt a little bit, although not that hot. And Bill Boulliane had some problems with his fitness at the beginning of the season, and maybe now is just really kind of getting into the shape that he wants to be.
I think so, too. Plus the confidence level. You're coming up, you beat him 15-13 in a big finals of the winner's match. You're resting, you're watching them play, maybe picking up a thing or two on how they're hitting the ball, what they're doing. Coming at it, making some nice defensive plays.
That's an easy serve. And that's the result. You have to make, you have to take chances.
Also, the change is good for Troy. He was really playing great with Randy Stoklos. Maybe a little bit too much pressure was put on him. Maybe with Beef Boulliane, they're kind of giving and taking a little bit.
And also, there's the energy. Last week, Troy played with Mike Whitmarsh when Mike Dodd had an obligation in Chicago, and they finished third. So, you know, we talked about the great year that Randy Stoklos is having with or without Troy Tanner, but Troy Tanner's having a marvelous year with or without Randy Stoklos, yet in another final.
With different partners every time in the top 5. I mean, that's great. Great for Troy. Really making a move this year. Tight.
Yeah, that ball was set way inside. That's a ball Jose Loiola should certainly have a look at blocking. The weather conditions, I'll tell you, if you asked me at 10 o'clock this morning, I'd say we might not be able to finish the tournament. Thunderstorms, wind, lightning, but you can see absolutely, this is like the British Open. Absolutely dead calm, no wind here at Bradford Beach, and about 80 degrees, and really perfect conditions for our championship match. Jose Loiola popping that ball, getting a good call from his partner, Kent Steffes.
Nice high arm swing up and over the top of Troy Tanner. It all started with the set. Watch this, nice back set, hittable position, put the ball on the ground. Kent Steffes, you know, not known for his setting, but he puts the ball right there over and over again.
Boulliane dusting the rust off of his paws and setting that ball, and here we go again. He's got pretty good hands. You just don't see it. Just don't see it very often. And Bill, you notice his pinky taped to on his left hand. Maybe that will curtail him setting the ball with his hands even more.
Watch this up by Jose. Nice left-handed stab. As we said earlier, use your left hand when going in from your left side and your right hand from the right side for your young players out there. Exactly like that.
Almost 2 minutes gone, Tim. We're down to 6:04.4, and we're tied at 1. Only 2 points on the board. A chance for 3. And there it is. Tanner and Boulliane take the 2-1 lead. Transition opportunity by Troy Tanner as he continues to serve, and those are Tanner's troops, I guess, down here in the corner.
That's the Superwash crowd. They're down here from Chicago. Every car should be clean. And that's another point. Make that 3 zip. 3-1. Excuse me. Thank you, Paul.
That's all right. I appreciate that. Steffes and Loiola making some mistakes. Played a couple of extra games. Jose Loiola, as we discussed, suffering from a virus last week, and it's carried over to this week as well. Randy Stoklos, if you're just joining us, also under the weather this week, could not make the trip to Milwaukee, so he and Brian Lewis did not play. But a lot of other teams did, and when we get to our list of finishers and update you on the results, you'll see that there were a lot of surprises and a lot of upsets, good and bad, this week.
With the big tournament coming up next weekend, the Grand Slam in Hermosa, it's very strange. You should be using this as to catapult into next week. A lot of teams faltered.
That ball set way back. Steffes can't get to that play. A pretty good dig by Jose Loiola, but right back to the net.
Should have softened his hands up a little bit, brought it up a little bit higher. Maybe the fatigue factor figuring in a little bit.
Would they be tired playing the couple of extra games? A team as fit and a team that trains as hard as they do?
I definitely going to be a little tired. Bad serve by Boulliane. But they got to play on their experience. Just make the same plays they've made all year long over and over again. I mean, you saw that block earlier. Jose probably should have had that block. If he was fresh, he would have had that block. Maybe that dig, he would have had that dig. That's the difference in playing those extra 2 or 3 games.
This team has only been in the contenders bracket once before all season long. That ball over the top and down. The other 2 tournaments that they did not win, Fort Myers and in Dallas, were single elimination events, so they lost earlier on and were out. But in terms of a double elimination format, they came back after losing in the finals of the winners bracket to Mark Cairns and Andrew Smith in Miami, and then they lost here in the semifinals. So this is their longest trek back, a couple of extra matches. Taps that down the sideline.
With hits like that, they have spring in their leg. Springs in their legs. You got to make him pass the ball. Nice set by Kent. Hard line shot, side out.
Kent Steffes now 29 years of age, and to remind you, he has 99 career wins today, trying to become only the 4th player in pro beach volleyball history to register 100 wins, and he would become the youngest. Randy Stoklos got his 100th when he was 30 years of age. St. John Smith when he was 31.
31?
33, I am being told, so thank you for the correction. I can't remember everything, as people remind me of all the time, and that's an understatement.
That's a long time ago.
Loiola back to serve.
This is finals action here from Bradford Beach, the $125,000 Miller Lite Open at Milwaukee. Jose Loiola, Kent Steffes taking on Bill Boulliane and Troy Tanner. I'm Paul Sunderland with Tim Hovland. 3-1 Tanner and the Beefer. Beef Boulliane leading at the beginning of this championship. Nice cut shot by Troy Tanner. Is Troy a much better player this year than he was last year?
Much better player, much more confident. Just really seeing the court, those nice little cut shots like that, and using that deep shot, and he has the power to make the transition play. But really knowing the court and the experience of this game that he's had, that's why he's playing so much better this year.
But still trying to break through. He's trying to go for number 1. Steffes is trying to go for number 100. Nice dig by Tanner and a good strong side out.
Side out.
Steffes and Loiola certainly one of the best teams at siding out, and they're just ready to go.
Look like two bobcats ready to jump on a small sheep. They're ready, really moving. I mean, that's some good reactions. Very rarely are they aced.
I would hate to be that sheep. Well, they're both 6'4", 6'5", jump exceptionally well, long arm, and they're good volleyball players. They read well and know what to do if teams are serving them tough.
You want to move like a cheetah out there on top of the sand. A lot of players that are a little bit bigger move through the sand. They trudge through it. You want to be on top of the sand, moving it out, and laying down and getting those balls up.
Bill Boulliane and Troy Tanner looking for the 4-1 side change and a big confidence builder. Hard to determine what's good side, bad side. Just out of reach. Kent Steffes called cut. Jose Loiola decided to take that down the sideline, and Bill Boulliane almost there. And with his speed, this might have been a point-scoring chance.
Nice touch by Jose. Bill stretches it out right-handed. Can't bring it up.
You have to capitalize on every opportunity and make that extra effort. You touch a ball against Loiola and Steffes, you've got to work extra hard to get back to the net and take a good swing. Nice set by Troy Tanner, and that's heat from Bill Boulliane. In much better shape now and healthy compared to the way he was the beginning of the season.
The wintertime didn't do him so much good. He went a little bit big as he had a baby, and he kind of sat around a little bit, you know, taking care of the baby, maybe put on a couple LBs. He's in good physical shape right now, and two great plays by him on that line, bringing it back inside and out.
Was evidence of that first week of the year at the King of the Beach. He was 13th, and then followed that up with a 17th with Eric Wirth. So not the kind of season that Bill Boulliane attempted to start, but maybe he will finish it strong. And he and Troy Tanner certainly strong on the first side change as they take the 4-1 lead. Tim Hovland, you said that Troy Tanner and Bill Boulliane needed a solid start. They have certainly gotten it.
Jumping around, yelling at people, being a little conservative right now. See if he changes it up.
Well, I'll tell you, Jim Mingus, of course, if you know beach volleyball, you know that he was one of the great competitors, certainly of the 70s and 80s. And he's carried that over. He is not bashful about getting on the best team in the world. And I think that's the sign of a good coach. Phil Jackson, or take your pick around the NBA, Larry Brown. Certainly a lot of very, very good coaches. George Karl. They'll get right in the face of Sean Kemp or Gary Payton. Or does Phil yell at Michael?
I don't think so.
No, it's not in the, it's not in the
It's not in the contract. But when you're tired like they are right now, a coach is really a big asset because you're blocking a little bit off the net. He's going to tell you, penetrate the net. Don't net like you just did right there. Or you're going to pick up little things that you're not doing correctly. And when you're that tired, you're not really thinking clearly. And Jim can see it, point it out, and have him revise it.
A big advantage if the best team in the world needed one. Kent Steffes and Jose Loiola looking for their 11th win on the season. A lot of numbers involved that regard the French fry, the number 1. 11th win of the year. First win for Troy Tanner, potentially. A 100th win for Kent Steffes. That's a little bit of the storyline here today in Milwaukee. The winner will take home $25,000.
A little bit of ketchup with my French fries all over the place. And a 1 for Kent Steffes and Jose Loiola. 1-4.
That ball right down the sideline at Troy Tanner.
It looks like a skins versus shirts game out there right now. Troy Tanner, Beef Boulliane, both taking their tank tops off, saying, let's play.
Well, but the real reason for that, and we should be frank about it, they don't have sponsors, and Kent Steffes and Jose Loiola do. Otherwise, they'd be shirtless as well. That ball over the top by Jose Loiola for the side out.
I think Troy Tanner's got taken is the Superwash Car Wash and have signed with his clothing sponsor. I mean, I can't see it from here. Is that Club? Is that a possibility?
I can see it from here.
Must be getting old, Paul.
That serve missed by Kent Steffes. We're in the finals here from Milwaukee. The 15th tournament of the year. Steffes and Loiola are looking for their 10th win. Bill Boulliane has one career win. I mentioned that was with Brian Lewis in Belmar, New Jersey. We'll be there later on in the season once again. They love Tim Hovland, my partner in Belmar, New Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Love him.
Oh, yeah. That is a nice spot.
Kent Steffes looking pretty good right now, and Steffes and Loiola are doing what they have done all season long to teams, and that's just siding out and siding out.
From the net cam, nice cross court bang by Kent Steffes. He really jumps on that ball, lets it sit on his left shoulder, and then comes across real hard.
Working Troy Tanner here a little bit. That ball out of bounds, no touch, and now it is 4-2.
Steffes and Loiola. 2 looking at 4.
And Troy Tanner, will he be the target in terms of being served throughout the course of this final, Tim?
Right now, they served him 9 times and Beef 8 times, so they're kind of going back and forth on him. Troy's made 2 unforced errors. Siding out pretty well, though. Looks calm, cool, and collected out there.
And when Troy was playing with Randy Stoklos, Randy has been so physical all summer long, it really came down to Troy playing well enough, siding out, in order to beat Steffes and Loiola. And when they met in Chicago, he couldn't do it. And a couple of other times he could not do it. And once again, the question remains, after winning the winner's bracket and being as fresh as you can possibly be in a 2-day tournament, is this his time?
Tanner back to serve.
Only time will tell. But I like the way that he's mixing his shots up. Sees the open court, cut it in the middle. Don't go after it every time.
Tough serve. Ace serve by Troy Tanner. Right on cue. Moved to the middle of the court and sliced it off against Loiola. It's now 5-2.
That was totally on purpose. Watts have come from here, right down the middle. Can't control. He moves out from left, comes across the seam. No way to touch that ball. Great serve by Troy. Easy point.
Boy, and just froze Jose Loiola. 22nd timeout taken by Kent Steffes and Jose Loiola. Sand timeout now. And once again, Jose Loiola and Kent Steffes will go over and confer with Jim Mingus, Bill Boulliane, and Troy Tanner up 3. You're looking at the headquarters of the Miller Brewing Company, and this is the Miller Lite Open at Milwaukee, their corporate headquarters. And we mentioned that Miller Lite made a commitment to the sport of beach volleyball in 1982, and look what it has become. Standing down courtside, one of the gentlemen responsible, Rich Ryder with our Craig Hummer. Craig?
Thanks a lot, Paul. Rich, it's been an exciting year. Obviously, Ken and Jose have dominated a lot, but it has been a season of first, including Dane Blanton, the first African-American ever to win a tournament. What have your impressions been so far?
Well, I agree with you. It's been a phenomenal year. Miller Lite is glad to be back on the AVP tour. We're proud of Dane. We're proud of all the rookies. We're proud of the seasoned veterans as well, like Mike and Randy and Troy.
Now, this is the first season you've tried the Miller Lite Grand Slam format. How's the reception been amongst the players and the fans?
Well, I think it's fantastic because what you have is a chance to showcase the best players in the world at the best tournaments in the world, and we're at the best sites in the world. So, outside of Milwaukee, I should say.
All right, thanks for your time. We look forward to the rest of the season.
Okay, appreciate it.
All right, back to you guys.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. And of course, thanks to Miller Brewing for their continued support of beach volleyball and the AVP. Look what it has become. The Olympic Games, the World Championships at UCLA later in the year. And making a lot of players like Jose Loiola and Kent Steffes, Karch Kirai, Adam Johnson, yourself, Mike Dodd. Yeah. All you guys are millionaires.
Oh, yeah, Miller Lite. We love Miller Lite. They have really taken the sport to a whole new level since 1982. Bigger and bigger we get. Rich Ryder, I was at dinner with him last night. In fact, thanks for that, Rich. It was another.
You picked up the tab, right?
No, Miller Lite. When you're in Milwaukee, it's Miller Lite time. And there's an ace by Ken Steffes.
Time for possibly the best team on tour this year. Undoubtedly, Kent Steffes and Jose Loiola to make a move. They trail now 5-3.
Cross court, takes a little something off it. Troy can't lay down to pick this ball up. Lots of drop off the table. Troy laying it out. Can't bring it up. 5-3. 3-5, I should say.
And with no wind whatsoever, that ball dove as if it was into a heavy headwind. Bill Boulliane restoring some order.
Yeah. Back to serve.
There's been 3 aces so far, and no wind to speak of, but they're really serving the lines.
Good. Looking to go. Bad set by Troy Tanner, and a lucky break, and Jose Loiola goes away scratching his head. Why did I not block on that play? Troy Tanner gaffed that set, and they got away with it.
That was a one-arm bandit, bad set of all time. That could be an omen, though. You're picking up stuff like that, you're putting the ball away. Watch this. Outside, on the corner, off the top and down.
And
point.
Outside the antenna, and Jose Loiola is playing defense on the sideline, really of no help whatsoever to his partner. That ball just grazes the top of the tape. Tanner and Boulliane would have loved to have had the 7-3 side change. Instead, the score remains 6-3. They've been on top throughout. They led 4-1.
I like the way they're going after. You can't get complacent. You're up 6-3. There's 3:30 left. There's a lot of volleyball left. You got to come at them with your best weapons every time.
Good pass by Tanner.
That's a nice play.
And Jose Loiola chops that ball down the line and out of bounds. Making the extra effort, Bill Boulliane chasing the ball down to keep it in play. 3:14 left. Troy Tanner and Bill Boulliane now lead 6-3.
That's just great hustle. Keeping the ball in play. You never know what's going to happen. Jose with a nice pass. Block. Court's wide open. Just puts it out of bounds.
Another service error by Troy Tanner. Once again, cannot close it out and get to the 7-3 side change.
That's 6 service errors combined by Beef and Tanner. 4 for Troy, 2 for Beef.
But they've had a couple of aces.
Exactly.
They've got a couple of aces, and I think they'll take that ratio. Pressure on Boulliane to set this ball well, and he doesn't. No chance. That ball was right on top. So Tanner and Boulliane were looking for, hoping for the 7-3 side change and the 4-point lead. Instead, take a look up, and it's 6-4. Steffes and Loiola may be a little tired. Jose Loiola a little under the weather, but here they come. Telling you about the Wilson qualifying series. Well, it kicked off this past weekend in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It consists of the 5 events that you see. $37,000 in prize money, culminates at the championships in Orlando, Florida. $10,000 in prize money, and you can become exempt for the AVP Tour in the '98 season by winning on this series. Brought to you and sponsored by Wilson, the official ball of the AVP, and a team of note, Todd Rogers and Dax Holdren, who did just that, became exempt last year on the Wilson Qualifier Tour, have really started to make their mark. 2 weeks in a row, or 2 out of the last 3 weeks, I should say, have finished 5th. This week, a career best 4th for the 2 rookies out of Santa Barbara.
Really playing steady ball. They don't do anything really exceptional, but they keep the ball in play. They don't make mistakes. They got good jump serves. Congratulations, those 2.
A couple of exceptional wins this week. They eliminated Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh before they eventually lost to Jose Loiola and Kent Steffes, but they just had a marvelous tournament.
Gave them a fight, too. Look at Beef Boulliane this weekend. This week is practicing blocking a ball. Dislocated his pinky finger, which all good blockers have, is the dislocation of the pinky. Stuck out at 45-degree angle, put it back in, taped it up, and he's ready to play.
Well, you used to tape all of the fingers on your left hand, did you not, just to protect them?
Broke 9 times. You better tape them up because they're going to fall apart.
You should have just cut them off.
Get rid of them. My piano playing would have been over then. Still couldn't set, so it doesn't really matter.
I've been waiting a long time for you to say that. Jose Loiola and Kent Steffes down by 2 to Bill Boulliane and Troy Tanner. Championship match here from Milwaukee. Good digging. And Jose Loiola not playing the level of volleyball we've seen from Jose this year. Is the virus bothering him that much?
Might be bothering him a little bit. It's a great dig right there. Nice back set. Jose's got to put that ball deep in the court, make him side out instead of going for it. Mistake.
2 minutes and 47.3 seconds left on our Swatch game clock. Plenty of time left. We're, in basketball parlance, just starting the 4th quarter.
Well, the game is decided.
It's now time for Troy Tanner and Bill Boulliane to get very smooth siding out, but also to stay very aggressive with their serving.
That's what's got him here right now, up 6-4.
Kent Steffes looking for number 100. He's had some marvelous years, won 13 tournaments in '96. Of course, the Olympic championship not included really in that number. 5 in '95. That was the injury year when he had surgery on his shoulder. 17 in 1994. These are titles, mind you. 18 times was a champion in '93. 18 times a champion in 1992. His first win with John Stevenson way back when. Loiola off the block of Troy Tanner and down.
Maybe instead of trying for the closing block, a nice soft block touch like he just did there. Wait on the ball, jump a little late, try to put the ball up in the air, and then play it back. I would suggest.
Tough serve, and a couple of aces coming to that area of the court. One by Troy Tanner earlier, and this one by Jose Loiola right on the sideline.
He should be moving his feet this way. Watch this hard cross court on this line over here. You can't get what you can't see.
And that one missed long, and Steffes and Loiola, who trailed 4-1, now are only down by a single point, 6-5. They have outscored Tanner and Boulliane 4-2 here to get right back into this championship match. Troy Tanner toes the service line. 33 years of age, makes his home in Provo, Utah. Wife and 3 children. He's an assistant coach at BYU while he's working on his master's degree after graduating from Pepperdine.
Touching a lot of balls, but can't get the blocks. Really going after Loiola. 17 service receives.
Well, you know the players' tent. There are no secrets. Here at a Miller Lite AVP event, all the players occupy the same area, and they know that Jose's been coughing and wheezing and not feeling 100%. You really have to be a good actor in that tent if you're not feeling well. Another net violation by Jose Loiola.
Jose going for the slam dunk. Shaquille O'Neal.
Talked about next week in Hermosa being the 3rd leg of the Miller Lite Grand Slam. The first was in Hermosa. You know the details about having to move it from Manhattan. That was won by Dane Blanton and Canyon Seaman. The second, just the very next week in Chicago, won by Steffes and Loiola, and the 3rd next week in Hermosa. No block, and Loiola hit it out.
I think he was shocked that nobody was up there blocking. He kind of looked and said, nobody's there.
Wow, and that was a perfect set.
That was a gift. You got to take the gifts. And now you got to start earning some. 7-5. Not like that.
Boulliane, you know, I think that's a good idea, though. Boulliane has got the kind of heat and arm swing where he can put an ace on somebody. And I think with a 2-point lead, he goes ahead and goes after it.
I'm a true believer. After a point, keep the next ball in. It's old style. You know, maybe doesn't mesh right now, but I'd say keep the next ball in. Make him side out. He just hit the ball out. Get up there, block him, soft block, do whatever, but make him side out.
Well, one thing, I think that a lot of players have become satisfied with missing a lot of serves.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of court over there where I think you can do what you just described, serve the ball with velocity and location and not make mistakes. Oh, nice touch by Jose Loiola. Boulliane had an idea, but a perfectly positioned shot.
Jose Loiola, great pass. Watch from the net cam. Little pokey over the top. Beef thought about dropping off, was stuck at the net, easy side out.
That's when you're airborne trying to block and just hoping.
You're kicking your feet going,
raise the sand a little. Let me get down on the ground so I can play that ball.
A little tight.
Oh, nice play by Troy Tanner.
There is the difference right there. Jose Loiola fresh, roofs that ball. Jose Loiola 3 games after is tired.
And maybe Troy Tanner, making his usual trek through the contenders bracket, doesn't get to this ball quickly enough to put it away.
Nice set, good quick arm swing. That's a 3-pointer through the goalpost.
Troy Tanner looking for victory number 1. It is. We had, you know, and beating him to the punch, of course, Henry Russell and Mark Kierans in Cape Cod. For both of them, their first final, excuse me, it was the second final for Henry Russell.
True.
But their first time together in the finals, and they go 1 for 1. I mean, Troy Tanner, if this was batting average, he'd be struggling.
Batting average, but when you go into the bank, you got a whole new prospect because you're banking some good money there.
Timeout taken. Our championship still very much in doubt. Tanner and Bill Boulliane by 2. Up atop center court, Paul Sunderland with Tim Hovland. We do get a pretty good seat every week. And also with a good vantage point is our Craig Hummer, and he's standing down courtside with Bill Boulliane. Craig?
Thanks, Paul. These are pretty good seats. Beef, you guys jumped out to an early 4-1 lead. You established the dominance and momentum, but they've sort of come back at you a little bit. What do you need to do to keep going strong?
We need to play some defense. We're siding out pretty well, but we haven't been digging any balls, and the only time we get any points is when they're making mistakes. We're not serving well enough to get them into that much trouble, so we have to play some defense and just keep siding out. You know, if we side out for the rest of the game, we win 5-7. So.
All right, good luck.
All right, thanks.
Take it away, Paul.
Thank you very much. Bill Boulliane looking for his second career win, and it makes a good point. Only 4 digs for Bill Boulliane and Troy Tanner. Troy Tanner with only 1. 1 seems to keep cropping up with Troy Tanner. His first win, 1 dig. They will take it, though, and right now they're up 7-5, and got to think about settling down and siding out.
How about 0 blocks for the whole match on either team?
That's very.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Yes, on a good jumper's beach.
Steffes and Loiola down 2. Down 1, double contact. The ball off of Troy Tanner's arms, then off his noggin, and just like that, Steffes and Loiola are within 1.
That's the 3rd tough serve down the line. Boulliane's been pulling those up. It's 2 for 3.
Bump sets that ball, been using his hands, and back-to-back. I think that set surprised Bill Boulliane a little bit. It was tight. Troy Tanner had been setting almost every ball with his hands, and immediately 2 points in a row, and we're tied at 7.
Don't give up points in bushes. It's tight, a little bit tight. Boulliane goes to the line, a little bit too fine. 7 up.
Loiola trying to make it 3 in a row, misses a serve there. Certainly one Tim Hovland would not approve of.
1:41 left on the clock. We could be going on the clock. I doubt if they're going to get 8 points.
No, this will definitely go on time. There's no question. Both teams very efficient offensively, keeping one another respectively off the board. Must win by 2. One team carries only a single-point lead. We'll head it into overtime. Jose Loiola on the sideline. Didn't matter in either case. Bill Boulliane with a net violation.
Sometimes you start to press a little bit. You haven't had that many point opportunities. You start going for a little bit. Billy tried to get it. Hit the net. Everything stops.
Well, I think that Tanner and Boulliane could take a lesson from Dane Blanton and Canyon Seaman. Go back to Hermosa. The only time Steffes and Loiola lost in a final. Ooh, when when they played with high energy, at a high tempo, and they kind of controlled the pace of play, and they served really tough. They really went after Steffes and Loiola and eventually came out on top.
They came out with a high energy. Right now they're kind of coasting. Got to pick it back up.
Steffes and Loiola will take the momentum.
Back to Loiola again.
There's a big block by Troy Tanner. You said we were all bagels for blocks. Well, now we're up there with #1, Troy Tanner, with the first stuff block of the match, and it was big. They Wide Open at Milwaukee is brought to you by Honda. Experience the thrill of the all-new Prelude and the new four-wheel drive CR-V. And by Irish Spring Sport. It kills odor-causing germs, so play as hard as you like. Paul Sunderland with Tim Hovland, and that was the shores of Lake Michigan, and someone's going to have a beverage of one form or another and be celebrating very, very soon here in Milwaukee. 8-7, Troy Tanner and Bill Boulliane lead over Steffes and Loiola. 1:25 left on the clock, and out of the side change, and after a point is scored, Bill Boulliane with another service error.
Boy, I'd like to keep that ball in, keep the pressure on.
Remember the theme for today's final. Troy Tanner, there with his back to you, is looking for his first ever victory, and Kent Steffes is looking for number 100 to become the 4th player all time with 100 victories.
Get to it.
Nice underhand gator by Kent.
Pretty tough shot, transition.
Oh, too tight.
Good shot by Bill Boulliane for a very important side out, down to 1:10.6.
Great experienced shot right there by that man, Bill Boulliane. Here's the dig off the top. Kind of struggles with it, brings it up. Troy with those nice hands, brings it in way deep, throws it out clean. Off the top, deep in the corner.
Still going to Jose Loiola. That ball pinged down the line. And it's not often, Tim, that Jose Loiola gets the vast majority of the serves.
The vast. 21 serve receptions for Loiola, 5 for Ken Steffes. They know he's tired. They're going at him. I would mix it up a little bit right now. Go down the middle a little bit. See if Kent's not cheating, getting ready to set.
That ball set way back. Oh, Steffes does not make the dig. Good shot by Troy Tanner going deep middle when he's in trouble. Why is that shot so effective?
That's the ball that he didn't have years prior. Right there, that's a tough 15-foot set. Hit it with some velocity. Steffes can't come up with it. Big side out.
And going deep with that, very, very effective shot, an important side out for Troy Tanner. Boulliane to serve once again, and going back to Loiola.
Nobody.
Oh, gets it off the top of the tape, and Jose Loiola laughing about that one. Okay, good teams win throughout the course of a long season when maybe they're not playing their best volleyball, and on this swing anyway, a little fortuitous for Jose Loiola.
Better lucky than good. Off the top, trickles down, side out, just like he planned it.
Come on. Line.
Ooh, nice play.
You often see Kent Steffes working blockers down the line. That was a good, smart shot by Troy Tanner on a scramble kind of side-out play. Tanner and Boulliane lead by 1. Remember, you have to win by 2, so they're looking to stretch this lead to avoid overtime.
Nobody.
Boy, that is a rip up the middle for Jose Loiola. Down to 41.7 seconds, Tim.
That's a great set by Ken Steffes. That ball was about 3 stories high, came under it, put it in a very hittable position. Almost any ball hittable by Loiola's standard with that kind of jump, but it drilled down the middle, saves the side out.
Come on.
Looking for the tie, and that's it. A pair of 8s. 32.8 seconds left, 8 apiece.
Right into Steffes' wheelhouse, coming at you. Steffes lines up, brings it right up. Nice set by Jose. Crush it cross court. Double 8s looking at you.
Boy, that was a nice dig and transition set, because that dig had a lot of spin on it.
Did you see the way he buffered it? He buffered it in, gave him a nice set. Very nice play.
Boulliane. Every play now, every contact, so much pressure. Tied at 8 and under 30 seconds, 27.5 seconds remaining to be exact on our Swatch game timer. Boulliane will serve. He has one win, all time to his credit, with Brian Lewis in 95.
He could double it right here.
He could double it. Oh, Tanner's got plenty of room. And Steffes cuts it down the line.
What was that?
That was just good enough.
That was the ultimate paintbrush into the corner.
Long rally, and at the end of it, Jose Loiola and Kent Steffes come out on top.
Look at that shot. Really unbelievable. And he's doing the jig. The Irish jig. I didn't know he's Irish.
14.9 seconds remain. Tied at 8. Remember, you must win by 2. And there's the 1-point lead. And just like that, the roles have completely reversed. Troy Tanner and Bill Boulliane were up by 1, trying to avoid overtime. And now Steffes and Loiola have blown past them and lead by 1, 9-8.
It happens like this all the time in volleyball. You make a great play. Steffes comes up and over with that paintbrush, comes back with an ace.
Are we headed for overtime? We'll find out when we come back. Welcome back to Milwaukee, and let's take a look now at the updated standings in our BMW Ultimate Player statistics. This includes cumulative numbers for blocks and aces. Impact plays on the beach. Loiola, Whitmarsh, Lewis make up the top 3. Brian Lewis not here this week. Steffes, Blanton, Tanner, Stoklos, and Seaman. Canyon Seaman, I don't think, has 674. We will check that. Or else he would be on top. The winner, and it looks like it may well be Jose Loiola. We'll see what happens in the last 6 or 7 weeks. Takes home a beautiful, big BMW motorcycle. And if I were Jose Loiola's girlfriend, offspring, whatever, I would not let him ride it. And that is a huge mistake by Bill Boulliane.
By Troy Tanner, cross-court shot, wide open, had to take a little something off it. Maybe time for a timeout. And
Troy Tanner and Bill Boulliane, 5-1. What do they do here, Tim? We're talking sky ball, don't you think? Just to run out the clock?
I don't think Loiola has it in his arsenal. They're going to drive him deep, look for the ball on 2.
It's over. That's it. Jose Loiola and Kent Steffes came back through the contenders bracket. Jose Loiola, sick all last week, not feeling well this week, maybe not playing their best volleyball, but it was good enough to win their 11th championship, and Kent Steffes becomes the 4th player in professional beach volleyball history and the youngest to win number 100. Kent Steffes joining a very select group.